All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. Time for time. Because we're talking about time in Chrono Cross. Did you know that Chrono is actually the Latin god for time? But this game doesn't feature Chrono, it features Serge, and I have surged my way through 12 hours and 44 minutes of Chrono Cross. This is a game about time. It's a turn-based RPG on the PlayStation 1, and I wanted to log my experiences at this stage in the game. I'm not far enough in to call this a review, but when I am far enough in Chrono Cross, you can bet that I'll be over on Spencer's channel, RPG Archive, to go archive my thoughts on the game and its history with him. Check it out. In the meantime, here are some of my current thoughts with my playthrough so far. This is a game about time, and it's not in the sense of going backward or forward in time. There's actually parallel universes, in a sense, where there's one reality that exists, but somehow you mysteriously find yourself wound up in a reality where something else occurs that's tragic. I guess I can give a little spoiler. It happens within the first hour of the game, but it's worth pointing out that in the second timeline, Serge isn't alive. And so there's always this element of mystery. It's handled pretty well for the most part. It's a little tacky in the sense of they replay this scene over and over again where Serge is looking sinister and he's holding a knife with blood on his hands, and you're left to wonder what the hell happened. And I'm not crazy about the way it's told, but I love the idea of two separate universes of the same world. And it really does make you explore and see the differences and talk to different characters, and also consider, have I visited this area, and have I also visited this area in a different time? It's really cool. You meet a lot of party characters, way more than in Chrono Trigger. I think there's like up to 30 that you can ally with, but it's unexpected, and a lot of them don't really have that much substance, which is kind of unfortunate. I found that of the 6 or 7 characters that I had encountered and got to join my team, only 2 of them really meant anything to me because of their importance in the overall game. And it's kind of a shame, because there is a lot of opportunity with the characterization for the models, for the archetypes. They're like cool molds. There's this guitar rock star named Nicky, and no, he's not little Nicky, but he is cool, and I would like to get to know more about him, and what his concert would have sounded like, and maybe see him on a stage, shredding and performing. But all you really know is that he helps you infiltrate the Viper Manor. That's about it. He's got a sister, okay, but within 12 hours of gameplay, I didn't see anything else interesting about him. There's a couple throwaway characters. There's a dog you can ally with in the beginning of the game. I don't know. I have not really felt compelled to change my party up from the current way as you see it on the screen. And that's unfortunate. But we can definitely talk about the main character, Serge. This is, I'd say, a step up from Chrono in Chrono Trigger. First off, he just has a very lifelike appeal to him. He looks very cool. He has this kind of seafarer vibe to him, and throughout the game I'd say he's about 95% of a silent protagonist, but he does have some selectable dialogue options, not many but some, and it does give him that little extra bit of character and also player choice where you can kind of resonate with him. I don't have any problems with silent protagonists to begin with, but in this case he is slightly better than a silent protagonist. What really makes all of these characters stand out is how they operate in battle. There's a very interesting system that occurs where you can select attacks on a 1 through 3 scale, and they deplete your stamina meter. Your stamina meter starts at 7, and each level of the attack scale that you pick will deplete the stamina meter by that much. So you're probably wondering, why do I pick a 2? Why do I pick a 3? if I could just pick one and do that attack a bunch of times. Well, the level 1 attack does the least amount of damage, while the level 3 attack does the most. However, as you go down, the percentage of the attack landing goes down. You can chain it so that you can do like a 1, 2, 3, and you're pretty much guaranteed to hit with the 2 and the 3. But there are other clever ways to play with it. And then you can also chain element attacks into the chain attacks. You can also decide which character goes first. You don't have to do, left to right. It doesn't really matter what the party organization is. And another thing that throws it off is that the enemy combatants can interfere with how you attack. This sounds complicated, but in reality, you warm up to it after, I'd say, a good hour or two, and it becomes one of the most robust combat systems that you could experience. I love how you can equip your party members with elements of different types. There's 6 types: water, fire, grass, voltage, I think it's earth actually, and light and dark. And certain characters have certain affinities. Sarge is a light affinity, while Kid is a fire affinity. And so you'll do extra damage when you use elements of the same affinity. Also notice the field effect in the upper left screen. So when you max out the field effect, or when you get a little chain going, it increases the damage of attacks of that affinity. So if I had a full field effect of light and then I used Sarge's dash and slash, it would do super extra damage on top of the insane damage it already does. A couple other cool things you can do. You can run from every single fight, even boss fights. That's helpful. I love that you can heal after battles using your elements and not have to deplete a mana bar. And you can also use consumable health items if you want to make sure that you have enough health. There are save features throughout the terrains, but if you're in the overworld, you can save at any time. It's very Final Fantasy-esque. And in general, it's a pretty intuitive game that plays well and looks beautiful. I love the animations for some of these attacks and seeing how you get more of them and can equip your team members with whichever one you so please. It's really cool, and it's really diverse, and it makes you think about how you're going up against enemy units. Sometimes it can be kind of easy, the game overall, but as you get further into it, there are some boss battles that pack a punch. On top of that, the game is just beautiful. I do like the kind of watercolory look of the overworld and everything, and I think the character portraits are nice, but the real star of the show is once you engage in battles and you see the terrain and you see how things move, and also the battle animations, and of course a stellar soundtrack. I love it. I love listening to it. A couple of the tracks. I'm still exploring some of the library. I'm kind of nervous to spoil anything for myself as far as future songs, so I'm putting a pause on that. But I've had a blast playing through it for hours on end, and if you can find a way to upscale this game, absolutely encourage it. It's worth playing simply just for what an alluring experience it is. I'm not going to say it's the best story in an RPG that I've played, but it has just about everything else that you could need, and I buy into it. I buy into this world and these characters, even if they are not super well developed. But that's my log of where I'm at in Chrono Cross. Try not to spoil anything for me, or I'll have to cross you. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you with more video content to come.